It's been 25 years, Maury, since I've been able to make a child. Maybe longer.
It doesn't matter.
Okay?
Joining us now from Houston, Texas, is 22-year-old Jocelyn. You see, Jocelyn says when she met her 53-year-old boyfriend, Robert, she was instantly attracted to his strong arms and tattoos. Now, at the time, you know, their 31-year age difference really wasn't a factor until Jocelyn got pregnant with her daughter, Kaylee, because that's when Robert insisted he was too old to have children because he hadn't gotten a woman pregnant in 25 years. Jocelyn, he's too old to have kids.
He's not too old to have kids. He can have, I've seen older people than him have kids. He's not too old. Just because he's 53, no.
But you're only 22. I mean, what are you doing with a 53-year-old man?
These younger guys I was with my age, I've always had to worry about them doing me wrong or having to find out something that they were doing behind my back. With Robert, I don't. I have that stability. I have that comfort with him.
If you're devoted to him 100%, obviously he thinks you're out cheating.
He thinks I sit there and I talk to people behind his back.
There was times that when me and Jocelyn were together, she would get phone calls. She'd be arguing with somebody on the phone, whatever. And I'd be like, who's that, you know? And I mean, I've always, and it was maybe not no big deal, but that's always stuck in my head.
When you first found out you were pregnant, what was his reaction?
It was kind of a mixed reaction, to be honest. He kind of gave me a little smile where he was happy, and then it went away.
But he thinks because you're young, right, and that he's
Yes.
old, that you can mess around because he's old and he doesn't want to do stuff.
Just because he's older and I'm young, just because I'm 22 doesn't mean I'm going to sit here and mess around. I'm not going to sit here and mess around. A 22-year-old can be faithful, and that's what I'm doing. I'm a 22-year-old and I'm faithful.
There was a rumor that was circulating around the time at work at the time you got pregnant, right? Because you all worked at the same place.
Yes, we all worked at the same place, and a ex-girlfriend of his at the time that we worked together with, he got in his head and told him I'm a hoe and that this baby's not his. Of course, your ex is going to tell you that because she's jealous. She wants you to stay with her. She don't want you to move on.
But here he is believing other people and not you, right?
Yes, and that hurts me. That hurts me that he believes them. Like, you don't want to sit there and believe the words that are coming out of my mouth, what I'm telling you. You want to sit there and believe them what they told you a long time ago. We've been together a year past that, and you're still going on with it.
So here's the thing, you know, he says, I haven't gotten anybody pregnant in 25 years. I've slept hundreds of times, and nobody's ever gotten pregnant. So all of a sudden,
25 years,
you
that's a long
get
time.
pregnant, and you think it's mine.
That doesn't mean anything. Just because you were with women prior before me doesn't mean anything. They're probably older. They can't have no more babies. I'm 22. I'm fertile. Of course, I'm going to sit here and get pregnant. And just because you're 53, did the doctor tell you you can't have no more babies?
You really believe that you're too old to get a woman pregnant?
Yes, sir, I
You're
do.
not
Because
too
number
old,
one,
though, but you're not. Just because
okay,
you're
but
53
listen,
does not mean
it's
you
been
can't have
25
kids.
years, Maury, since I've
It
been able to
doesn't
make a child.
matter.
Maybe
It
longer.
doesn't matter.
Okay?
Just because
And
I'm
I've always
22 and
had
you're 53
relations.
does not mean anything.
Can I talk, Maury?
Yes.
It's been 25 years, okay? I've been unprotected sex with my relationships, of course, and I've never been able to get them pregnant, okay? So now all of a sudden, here's Jocelyn, and she's pregnant, okay? So yeah, I've had doubts.
You've had doubts about us before all this.
What do you mean by that?
He's had doubts about our relationship before I got pregnant.
About whether you were stepping out on him?
Yes. He always accused me of doing anything.
What did one of your exes tell you about Jocelyn?
She told me she was a hoe at work.
And you sat there and you believed
We were
her.
friends.
You believed her.
I'm not going to say I necessarily believed her, but I had to look into it.
But you have
I had
believed
to do
her
my
because, look,
research.
this is
I had
why
to
we're
look.
here now.
What happened when you FaceTimed her one day, when you FaceTimed Jocelyn?
Okay, yeah, let's talk about that, Murray. When I FaceTimed her one day, she was supposed to be at her friend's house. If you go over to your friend's house, you're going to be sitting around with your friends, right? I FaceTime you. You go in the restroom to talk to me, and you're
I was already in the
straightening your hair.
restroom. I didn't go to the restroom. I was already in there.
You know, it was just kind of weird. So then I asked her, I said, well, where are you at? Where's your friends at? Well, I'm not going to go out there with them right now because I'm talking to you.
Do you
if it
think
was me, I would went out there and said, "Hey, look, this,
Why do I got to
I
put
don't
all
know.
them in mine and yours business?
Shut me up. You could have done that. You
Robert,
could have done that, but you
Robert,
didn't."
you love that little baby?
Yes, I do. I love her to death, Kaylee Marie. She's growing on me more and more every day.
You take
I've
a
been there
look,
for her since day one. Yes.
do you take a look at her eyes and what do you see?
That that discourages me. Especially out in the daylight. I look at her eyes and I'm like, wow, this is a little white girl, man. She don't mess.
Not white. She's not white.
So yeah, it discourages me. Right there, they don't look that green. But when she's out in the sun and we're carrying her, like if I'm carrying her in her car seat or something, they look really bright green. I'm trying to give it the benefit of the doubt that maybe her eyes aren't fully developed yet or whatever.
She's only
But
3
I
months,
just had-
Robert.
You want to be this little girl's father.
Yes, I do, Maury. Yes, I do.
Oh,
Yes, I do, Maury.
So therefore, if you haven't had a child in 25 years, this would be a miracle baby for you.
Yes, sir. Yes, you would. Exactly.
We're going to find out right now, okay?
Okay.
In the case of 3-month-old Kaylee, Robert, you are the father.
Didn't I tell you? Do you see? I told you. Now you want to sit there? You want
Yes.
to Didn't I tell you? Didn't I tell you?
Thank you, Mary.
Didn't I tell you?
Wow.
Yes, you did. I'm sorry. I apologize. I apologize to you out there. I apologize.
I love that smile on your face, Robert. That's
Oh,
great.
my God. Oh, wow.
Good
That's
for
crazy.
you. Okay.
Yes, thank you, Mary.
Jocelyn, you did
Oh,
good.
my God.
You did good. You are not the father.